This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk through this 2021 Palomino Solaire, model number 258 RBSS. Alright, so here we are at the rear on the door side. You can see you've got a swing out grill. Also, this grill has to be plugged in with an LP line, so you see the white cap there. There's the quick connect for the LP fitting. We also have power stabilizers. So you have one switch operates both rear, and then another switch up front that operates both the front, like so. Let's see if I can get this open with one hand here. Okay, so you have a kitchen here. You have a 110 volt AC refrigerator, a sink, and induction cooktop. Okay, so between the induction cooktop and the grill, you have a pretty good setup here. All right, so the stairs will fold into the trailer. Now this is a slightly new model here. They've modified the legs. So if you have to adjust the legs for uneven terrain, now you used to have to pull a pin, but as of last couple weeks we've been seeing them with this little lever here. You push up the lever to disengage the legs, and you could slide them up and down to adjust them to whatever level you need to. Okay. Of course, there's one on each side. You have a power awning with an LED strip, of course. This is storage here, quite a bit of storage. You have your service panel for your refrigerator. Now this is a drain for the cooling process creates condensation, so it drains out right here, so this should always be hanging on the outside. Okay, up here we have the vent for the range hood. Now if you're gonna, there's a baffle inside there, and you can reach up and pull it loose and it'll flap freely. So if you're venting the trailer through using the fan on the vent hood, and venting I mean, you should open up that baffle so it flaps freely. Otherwise, keep it shut when you're traveling or not using it. All right, hope that made sense to you. It sounded good in my head anyway. So okay, you have a mount for a TV, antenna out, and you have power. And then of course you got outside speakers. Now this is an interesting thing. This particular trailer slide out you can crank manually if you have to. So you have to trust me when I tell you, if you look through here, through that hole, there's a shaft with a pin going through it. You can actually get a crank with this one, I'm sure. Let me look. Yes. This crank right here, let me show you the end of it if I can get it. That you can stick that right through there, and that hole, and connect it to that shaft, and you can crank the slide out in an emergency. If you had if you had a failure and it won't operate, you can crank it in and out. Now also, this is the other side of your stabilizer in the front. The rear one looks exactly the same, but this will work on the stabilizer also if you want to crank it manually. So you can always get yourself out of trouble. Also, your power tongue jack, if you were to pull this cap right here, there's like a rubber plug in there. You can use the other crank that comes with it, or a 3/4 inch socket on a ratchet or a drill, whatever you want to do. But you can also crank this manually if you have to. So you can always get yourself out of trouble, which is a good thing. Odds are you'll never have to use it, but just in case, you've got it. All right, so this is for solar hookup here. It's pre-wired, okay? You got two LP tanks. I told you have a power tongue jack. You got two full LP tanks, two brand new deep cycle marine batteries wired together at 12 volts, so it's still 12 volts, just double the storage capacity. All right. The thing to know about your water heater, let's see if I can get this open one-handed here. Set this down for now. So the switch to operate, this works on either gas or electric. So the switch to operate on gas is inside on the control panel, but keep in mind there's a switch right here. It's a rocker switch on and off. Right now it's off, of course. The water heater is empty because this is winterized, so it's got antifreeze in it for the winter. So this switch operates an electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So to run it on electricity, you just plug it in, of course, and flip it on, and you just leave it on. If you're gonna do it on gas, you just sort of use it as needed. It's not on demand, but you give it a 10 minutes ahead of time. If you flip on the gas, you can do that also. If you're heating with the water with gas, you just don't leave it on all the time. You'll be guzzling up your LP. But with the electrical heating element, you can keep it on all the time. Just always make sure there's water in the water heater tank before you use any gas or electricity, because you don't want to dry fire it. That's not a warranty issue. If you do, it'll damage it for sure. So make sure there's water in the tank before you turn it on. This is a fresh water hookup. You'll use this, city water hookup's the most common way, but if you go to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites, you can pre-fill this onboard water tank and use the pump, the onboard water pump, and it'll operate just like you have city water. Now, there's 2 gray tanks in this, so that's the galley tank right there, which is the galley tank is a gray water tank for the kitchen sink. If you come back here, you have both the main gray right here and the black right there. So basically, you'll pull out the gate valve and dump the black first. The black is toilet water and waste, so you dump that first. Then you dump the gray, which is sink and shower water. It's just cleaner water than the black water. So you do it second, just so that you clean it out. All right. Now, let me go back here. I'm not sure if I passed something important here. No, I think it was this way. All right. Okay. So it's back up here. I was assuming this was just the pass-through, but this is your water station here. Okay. So now keep in mind that after you dump the black tank, you can leave the valve open. This right here is a black tank flush. You can hook your hose at the dump station on there, turn it on, and it'll spray the inside of the black tank out and clean it up really well. This is your city water hookup. That's what you almost always use. And you can see there's diagrams here, drawings of different positions. Right now, let's see what we've got. We've got it in this one right here, which is, shucks, let me try it again. This is the one we got here, city water. So right now, if you put the hose on here, turn it on, it'll run all the appliances like normal. Now, if you want to fill the tank, you're going to use this configuration here. If you're going to be pumping from the tank, you use this configuration, winterizing, so on and so forth. So it makes it real simple. And then you have a sprayer also, okay? Yeah, it's early in the morning, what can I tell you? Okay, so you also have a ladder for this, which is great because it makes it easy to inspect your roof. So you just go up the ladder, or if you don't do it, have someone else do it. You figure every 90 days or 3 times a season, once in the spring, once in the middle of summer, once in the fall. You go up there and check all the sealant on the roof, check for cracking or separation or any kind of damage, and you just do that on a regular basis as long as you own the trailer. As soon as you see something that needs to be touched up, have it done immediately. Okay? That's important. Not for this trailer, but for every trailer ever made. Also, back here, one other feature. This is pre-wired for a backup camera. You can see the housing right there. Just if you can buy them here, but if you buy it elsewhere, just make sure you get the Solaire, or I'm sorry, let me see here, the Furrion camera that fits in that housing. So it's a Furrion. Alrighty, let's go inside. Hopefully it's warmer in there than it is out here. Okay. Alright, so right when you get in the door, this is your control panel. Get some lights here. Okay, so the water pump switch is right here. If you need to pump water from your fresh water tank, or use it while winterizing and dewinterizing too. The water heater on gas is right here. You have 2 tank heaters. This is actually has heated holding tanks, so you can camp longer in the fall and go out earlier in the spring. It just extends your season. You got your awning, your power awning button here. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, always roll it in. This is for your slide out right here, of course. And then you have your levels that your battery's charged. Fresh water's empty, black water's empty, gray 1 and gray 2. I don't believe this has a gray 3. I'm sure it doesn't. So it's keep in mind, these are going to be the 2 that you deal with here. The gray 2 would be the galley tank, the one we talked about outside. Okay. So basically it graduates up in 1/3 increments as it fills. So once you get past 2/3, you're going to have to start thinking about dumping the black and gray tanks. Alright, and I think that pretty much covers it. Remember I told you the switch for the gas or for the electric water heater feature is on the outside. This one also has its own router. It's got a network inside the trailer. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You got your password, you got your to get to your web page for the router, you got the address right there, plus admin is the temporary administrator's password. So that's all basic stuff. If you don't understand it, get a 12-year-old. Okay, so let me see here. The TV is on a bracket. It's a nice one too. It's a scissor type bracket, and it locks into place, which is excellent. Okay, let me push this back in. Sorry about my camera work here, but okay. So your radio, AM/FM radio. It plays discs, CDs, and DVDs here. You can stream off this USB port right here. You can also stream wirelessly from your phone or your tablet, so it has Bluetooth. And you have 2 speaker zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. So it pretty much does everything you need for camping. Now, your fireplace is a space heater. This is the remote for it, but there's controls on the unit too. Now keep in mind that you have, let's see, where is this thing at here? Oh, right down here, okay. So you can't run the microwave and the fireplace at the same time, so you have to choose between one or the other. Right now I'm having it on fireplace, so I'm going to turn it on with the remote. Where am I? Well, I guess I'm going to check the batteries of the remote before you get here, but let me see here. Where are they? Buttons. Alright, let me try something else. It's not going smooth. Boy, I tell you. Let me get down here and look. There are buttons on it also. I don't understand exactly how it works yet. It's making me look very foolish. It has pictures of the buttons here. A little soft touch, or what is that? Well, heck. Alright. I promise you, it's just the batteries for this remote. They stay outside, and by the time people buy the trailer, they get drained down. So I'll take care of that for you. I'll talk you through it. You can you got 3 fan speeds off, low and high. You can set the temperature with the thermostat. You can adjust the appearance of the flame, and there's also a timer where you can set it to come on and go off at certain times. So it's really functional in that sense. The remote for your radio is right here. Of course, you got a TV remote, which works like any other TV remote right here. All right. Your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator. You just turn it on like so. Then you select mode. That's electric, obviously, gas, or auto electric. This is the most common way to put it. I don't know if you can read that okay, but you want auto electric. Let me go back around to it again. Okay, so the thing is, if it's on auto electric, it'll use electricity if it finds it. If it can't find the electricity, then it'll automatically switch over to gas. Oh, I see why that's not working. Somebody's unplugged me from AC power. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So that's why I'm having these problems here with it not working. It's just not plugged in. So, okay. Sorry about that. So anyway, you can select auto electric, and it will automatically by default use electricity. If it loses electricity, let's say you have a power failure during the day when you're out hiking or adventuring, it'll automatically sense that and automatically switch over to gas and light it so you don't spoil your food. So that's important. This device down here is your power converter here. This converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. Right, so you got regular household circuit breakers here, 110 AC, and they're all labeled. Then you got 12 volt fuses here, which are 12 volt DC, and they're labeled. So this converts your AC power to DC power. As long as you're plugged in to shore power, it'll sense how much energy your battery needs, and it'll keep your battery charged. Also, if let me take this off here. if a fuse was to blow, it'll actually light up and you can see it through this tinted plastic. Okay. All right, so I told you about the selector switch. This is a GFCI. All the plugs are wired through GFCIs. There'll probably be another one in the bathroom here. Let's look. Make sure. The thing is, if you're using a coffee pot or anything outside and it pops, you can reset it inside. Okay. You can also drop your table down and put the cushions in place and use this as a bed. You also have a let me see what we got here. This is, you pull the cushions off of here and you've got a tri-fold hide-a-bed. You just grab it right under the cushion. Sorry about my camera work. Right out of the cushion and fold it out 2 panels and then drop the third one in place from the back. And you've got a bed there. This device here is your LP gas and carbon monoxide detector. It should always be green like that. If it goes off, obviously you take everybody outside, shut off the gas and figure out what's going on. Alright. Your furnace, you hit it the mode once to light it up, then you go through fan. That is the air conditioner running without the compressor. Then go to cool high, cool low. You always want to use auto. Keep that in mind. Fan or air conditioning, always go with auto like that. And of course you have heat. And then off. This, let me find a switch here. Okay. This also has a 4-speed fan, or actually this, yeah, 4-speed fan up here, which makes it really nice. It'll pull a lot of heat out on those days where it's not quite warm enough for air conditioning. You also have TV hook up here. You got a backer plate on the wall, and then you got, let me see if I can get it out for you. Then you got a hook, antenna hook up plus power plus the backer. Okay. Sorry about my camera work again. I'm just I don't think I'm going to get any camera operating awards here. So, okay. So I think I've covered the appliances. So we got one more here. The furnace. Holy cow. The oven. So basically, you're just gonna. I assume the gas is on. Let me see here. I guess he's got that off too. Boy, they really powered this down. Okay, so you turn the gas on and you turn this sparkler clockwise and it'll light the burners. Now, to light the oven, you have to look down here all the way to the back. There's a pilot light. You can see I can spark it, right? So what you do is you go to the oven knob, you go to the picture of the flame, which means that it's for the pilot light. You'll depress it and keep it depressed. Then you'll spark this till the pilot light down here lights. Once it lights, you still hold it for another 10 seconds or so, then you go to operating temperature. But keep in mind, when you shut it off, obviously the flame goes off, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay. This is the vent hood I told you about. If you're going to run the fan, remember I told you there's a baffle on the other side. Right there, light. Microwave works like any other microwave. Okay. Now, it's got a really large shower with a seat, which it's unusual for a trailer. Usually they have small showers in them, so this is real nice. You have another 3-speed, 4-speed, I should say. Always run this fan with the shower, so you pull the humidity out. That's important. The thing to know about the toilet, if you don't know RV toilets, is that you see it has antifreeze in it right now because it's been winterized. But this is the flush pedal right here, right? When you flush the pedal, the trap opens. Also, water will come swirling out because we're hooked up. But so when you get to the campground, you hook up your water and your power, and you come inside. Your black tank's empty. The black tank is directly below here. So you take your chemical, whichever brand you use, you just put 1 dose in, put it right in the bowl. Then you step on the pedal, water comes swirling out, and you put about a gallon or so of water in the tank, just by holding it open like that. You don't know, it's hard to tell exactly what a gallon is. You don't have to have it exact. The bottom line is you have to have some water in it with chemical before you start using it. Otherwise, you'll regret it. Believe me, the smell will be, well, you won't do it twice, let's put it that way. So make sure anytime you start off with an empty black tank, you put chemical and water in it. Okay? It's impressive how much storage this trailer has in it, even on the outside. It's very nice. Okay, so I guess that about covers it. It was not the smoothest walkthrough, but keep in mind that you have your packet that has all your manuals and your your information on all the appliances and many of the components. So you can always learn more about it that way. Also, don't hesitate to use manufacturers' videos. Like you go to Greystone, put in the model number of this range, and it'll tell you everything about it. And you can do that with the fireplace, the refrigerator, anything. So you can educate yourself as much as you want to when it comes to this trailer. So, all right. Well, thank you very much for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And remember what I said about inspecting the roof seals and any place you see caulk on the side of the trailer, but mainly the roof seals. You always want to look at those every 90 days or 3 times a season. Okay? Thank you.